Daniel saves $800 every month. Ethan saves almost nothing. 5 years later, Daniel feels behind. Ethan doesn't. That shouldn't make sense, but it does. Because one of them built discipline, and the other built a system. And when you actually look at how their lives are structured, you start to notice something most people never question. We don't stay stuck because we don't try hard enough. We stay stuck because of the system we're living inside. Let's keep this fair. Daniel and Ethan are both 29. Same city, same salary, $65,000 a year. Same opportunities, same starting point. The only difference is how their lives are set up. Daniel is intentional. Every month, he transfers $800 into savings. He tracks his spending. He listens to finance podcasts on his commute. On paper, he's doing everything right. Ethan doesn't track anything. He spends freely and saves whatever is left, which usually isn't much. On paper, he's doing everything wrong. Month 1 looks exactly like you'd expect. Daniel saves $800. Ethan saves maybe $100. Daniel feels in control. Ethan feels a little careless. Simple. But here's where things start to shift. Daniel's life is tight. After saving $800, he has about $3,600 left for the month. Rent takes $1,600. Food, gas, and basic living take another $1,200. Now he has $800 left to handle everything else: unexpected expenses, social plans, family needs. So every month feels slightly pressured. Ethan's life looks different. He doesn't force savings, but his rent is $1,200, not $1,600. He chose a smaller place, closer to work. He walks more, cooks more, and spends less on things he never really cared about. Not because he's disciplined, but because his life naturally costs less. So even though he saves less intentionally, he leaks less without thinking. By the end of year 1, Daniel has saved around $9,600. Ethan has maybe $2,000. Daniel is clearly ahead, but mentally, something feels off. Every expense feels like a decision. Every purchase feels like a trade-off. Ethan doesn't feel ahead, but he doesn't feel pressure either. Now move to year 3. Daniel is still saving $800 a month, but his life hasn't gotten easier. His rent goes up to $1,750. Costs creep in. Inflation quietly adds pressure. Now, his buffer shrinks. And something subtle starts happening. He skips saving once, then again during a tight month, then again when something unexpected comes up. Not because he stopped caring, but because his system requires constant effort, and effort eventually runs out. Ethan gets a small raise. Nothing dramatic, maybe $5,000 more per year. But his lifestyle doesn't change. Same apartment, same routine. So now he has extra money without trying. He starts saving $400 a month without even planning it. By year 3, Daniel should be far ahead. But instead of $28,800, he's closer to $22,000 because of inconsistency and pressure. Ethan is around $12,000 to $15,000. Still behind, but here's the difference. Daniel is forcing progress. Ethan is allowing it. Now let's move to year 5. Daniel is tired, not physically, but mentally. For 5 years, he's been managing money like a task, tracking, adjusting, restricting, and now he just wants relief. So slowly, he relaxes, spends a little more, saves a little less. Ethan doesn't change much. His system is still working. Low fixed costs, simple routine, so every small increase in income naturally becomes savings. By year 5, Daniel has around $40,000 to $45,000. Ethan has around $35,000 to $42,000. The gap is almost gone. And this is where things stop making sense. Because Daniel did everything right, and Ethan didn't. So what happened? Daniel built a habit. Ethan built a system. Habits depend on effort. Systems remove the need for effort. Daniel's financial life required constant decisions. Every month, he had to choose correctly. Ethan's life required almost no decisions. His environment made the decision for him. And over time, that difference compounds, not just financially, but psychologically. Daniel associates money with pressure. Ethan associates money with normal life. Now stretch this to 10 years. Daniel improves, learns more, stabilizes. But money still feels like something he has to manage carefully. Ethan feels like money just works, not perfectly, but naturally. And this is the part most people miss. Wealth isn't built by making better decisions. It's built by needing to make fewer decisions. Because every decision costs energy, and when your life is already full, you don't have unlimited energy. This is why two people earning the same, living in the same city, can end up in completely different financial positions. Not because one is smarter, but because one lives inside a system that supports them and the other lives inside one that constantly demands effort. Now, this doesn't mean saving is useless. Daniel isn't wrong, he's just incomplete. Because without a system, savings becomes something you have to fight for. And anything you have to fight for every month eventually becomes exhausting. So the real question isn't, how much should I save? It's, what kind of life makes saving effortless? Because once saving becomes effortless, consistency becomes automatic. And consistency is what actually builds wealth. So if you've ever felt like you're trying but not getting anywhere, it's not always your income and it's not always your discipline. It's the system you're living in, the structure of your life, your expenses, your environment, your daily decisions. All of it is quietly shaping your financial future. And if you don't design that system consciously, you'll live inside it by default. And that default is where most people stay stuck. If this made you pause and think about your own system, then this is exactly the kind of thinking we explore here. You don't need to rush. You don't need to fix everything today. But you do need to start noticing. If you want more videos that break down money, psychology, and real-life decisions in a calm and clear way, you can subscribe. And if there's one part of your financial life that feels unclear right now, just sit with it for a moment. Because sometimes clarity doesn't come from doing more. It comes from finally seeing what's already there.